A journey through India's most loved palaces, set to the soundtrack of an ever-moving train. Royal Rajasthan on wheels is something you do once in a lifetime. Crisscrossing Rajasthan, Jodhpur to Udaipur and beyond, this train takes on the ambitious task of packing it in while letting you feel you're travelling at leisure.
Good morning, sir.
Things were looking pretty good on our first day. Early mornings are made easy when tea is brought and served by a distinguished khidmatgar. A big breakfast for some is not to be missed. The toasts, eggs and cutlets kept coming. And before I knew it, we had pulled in to the station. After a golden sunset, we look forward to our colour-coordinated suites. Pearl is just one of the many colours available for us to choose from, each one with its matching pillows, bed covers, blinds and furnishings. We each had not a berth, a cabin, but an entire room to ourselves. But most of us crashed at the sight of our beds. It's barely dawn and Jodhpur station is already abuzz with life. The khidmatgars in matching uniforms are well into their day. With just a few hours in Jodhpur, this is going to be a very action-packed morning. Jodhpur, a city that knows just how photogenic it is. The view from atop a cliff is true to the promise of a blue city.
We're at a great spot on the way to Mehrangarh Fort where we have views of the blue city of Jodhpur and the fort.
That's right, this fantastic fort that rises from this cliff in Jodhpur was built in the 15th century by a mighty Rajput ruler of the Rathore clan. He was called Maharaja or Rao Jodha.
I'm going to be meeting somebody today, a photographer, who's going to be taking me through the city.
Excuse me?
Not this photographer, not you, Arun. I'm meeting a professional photographer.
Oh, I see.
So that I get interesting visual perspectives on Jodhpur.
Yeah, well.
Take your own pictures.
Yeah.
We'll compare later.
Indeed.
Okay? I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, so what we'll do is...
Down in the valley, we see a riot of colour in a bustling small town.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
So what are you looking for in Jodhpur? I wanted to find you and then follow you around.
I've been walking around for the last half an hour, 45 minutes. By then, you start getting a sense of composition, what you really want to shoot.
Yeah.
Once that happens, then you just go with the flow, and sometimes you end up just taking about 500 photographs in a single day.
भैया 6 कितने के आते हैं? टोपी देना टोपी.
While I was in the company of a professional photographer, Arun was going to town in his own ivory tower. Mehrangarh Fort.
Well, this is it. The incredibly imposing Mehrangarh Fort. The pride of all of Marwar. Oh, by the way, it can get incredibly hot here, so when you're visiting, make sure you're wearing something light, made of cotton, and please carry a bottle of water, which I'm not. The wonderful thing about journeying on Royal Rajasthan on wheels is that you get to see so much and experience so much in what really is a very short period of time. I mean, to think of it, you spend a week on the train and you travel to these fascinating places all across Rajasthan, and you come back with impressions and images that will probably be indelible and last you a lifetime.
जाना किए हुए
Another night on Royal Rajasthan on wheels passes by and we arrive in Udaipur. Some might say this is the luxury capital of Rajasthan. A few hours here is a day well spent, because Udaipur invites you to reinvent your identity.
Shiv Nivas, Fateh Prakash and all the palaces that the various Maharajas of Udaipur, the several generations built and lived in. And all of it together is called City Palace Complex.
Back at the station, a new guest joins us aboard this train. Our new passenger is quite discerning about luxury, and upon close inspection finds everything on board to his satisfaction. Hey, we could have told him that. The last few days of any holiday are often among the most enjoyable. And this was true of the 6th day of our journey on Royal Rajasthan on wheels. The journey to Chittorgarh has some of the most dramatic landscapes we had seen so far. Tall bridges and sweeping bends marked one of our longest daytime stretches. By the time we arrived at Chittorgarh station, the sky was already losing light. Dusk, it turns out, is the best time to see Chittorgarh Fort, a powerful and varied monument, all the more awe-inspiring in twilight. The events that unfolded here are now part of Indian folklore and legend. This is the land of Queen Padmini, Rana Sanga and Mirabai. A short overnight ride brings us to Savai Madhopur at the footsteps of Ranthambore National Park.
We've gotten off at the Savai Madhopur railway station bright and early. Well, it's only just getting bright, but it is very early. And of course, we're headed now to the Ranthambore National Park, and I'm terribly excited about possibly sighting some wildlife, some tigers even. Now this is, for me, the high point of any trip, to actually go take a wildlife safari. And we are armed with these, the big guns, the only kind of guns, the cameras. And I have with me a professional photographer as well, Ajay, who you've already met.
Legendary Ranthambore is known the country over for its tiger sightings. Fortunately for Arun and Ajay, the 2-hour ride proved most rewarding. Muchli, a famous tigress in these parts, presented herself, lounging by a water body. A long day like this can make you hungry, and neither of us had the patience to wait for dinner.
What are we doing?
We're making papad ki sabzi.
Papad ki sabji?
Yes.
I see.
The chef aboard Royal Rajasthan on Wheels was good enough to teach us a few RROW specialties.
Okay. Then mix them all up.
Mix it
all
up.
those masalas up with water.
It has to be a paste.
Right, okay. So these are the papad or the papadom, as my lady here advises, that we sort of tore up into little shreds. We put all those shreds in there into that bubbling mix of goodness. Okay, chef, the check's in the mail.
हाँ, बताइए कि कैसे?
Check's in the mail.
I'm nervous about my grade.
Good taste.
Good taste.
Yeah.
Out of 10, आप कितने देते हो हमें?
100 में
100%, 100. 100 out of 100, 100%.
Came straight from the chef's
100%.
mouth. 100% marks for making papad.
That's what tells you a little incentive always does the trick.
Fortunately for our companions, there were plenty of dishes to choose from in the dining car that evening. Jaipur, the epitome of Royal Rajasthan. Not surprisingly, the first stop on this journey. Arun took it by the horns and motored through his list of sights. After a bit of shopping at Hawa Mahal, an elephant ride at Amer.
We're climbing up to the Amer Fort and we've got two-way traffic here. Elephants, of course. No vehicles allowed.
What
I love about Jaipur is that no matter how many times I come here, I always find something new to do.
I decide to give the tourist fair a skip and head deep into the back alleys of Amer Fort. Every morning, a group of dancers gather to perfect their skills in front of a small audience. All I need to do is find them.
I think the best way to explore a place like Amer Fort is to enjoy the hidden corners. Who knew there'd be a mehfil happening somewhere up here? Hardly anyone knows about it, and those musicians are so talented that it really did feel like an old-fashioned gathering.
While the fort is known for its hidden secrets, there are also those things you simply won't miss. Arun has a one-way conversation with the powerful rampart walls that are layered on the surrounding hills. He finds them fascinating, for they prevented capture and guarded the status of Jaipur as among the most powerful kingdoms in the region.
Well, I'm in a Mughal city, so I decided to do things the old-fashioned way. The last 1 kilometer stretch leading up to the Taj Mahal is a special non-pollution zone. So no cars or polluting vehicles are allowed in this stretch. You can only take these specially designed CNG and battery-operated vehicles, or of course, an old-fashioned horse-drawn carriage.
While Arun made his way to the Taj Mahal on his own, I couldn't resist sampling some of Agra's famous street food.
Excellent. Perfect.